I've no actual memory of the attack itself. I'd been out in London for the day, buying books and a new camera. I'd had a nice time and seemed to remember I was in rather a jolly mood. I do remember seeing the boys though. I remember them running towards me, but after that, it's a complete blank. I woke up in hospital. I suffered a fractured skull and a dislocation of my thumb that will never be completely put right. That's the worst part, if I'm honest, because it means reading will always be, well, a little painful, a little difficult. To begin with, it was all deeply distressing, as you'd imagine, especially the fact that I couldn't remember. But you get on with life, don't you? The boys were caught and convicted, and I thought to myself, well, that's that. Now, move on.
Well, it just looks so easy. Run up there before he knows what's going on, snatch his bag. There was probably something in that bag that we could sell. You know, well, at the time I was doing a bit of drugs and that. I wanted the money, so looked up, saw the bag. Didn't even think about the person who was holding it. I got sentenced to 2 years in a young offenders institution, and Harry got sent to a different place. I just kept my head down and got on with it. Tried to make the best of it. Pretty soon after, we were visited by a restorative justice worker. I thought, I can't believe they give me a chance to apologise to Michael, to Mr. Manners. I thought great, because I've been feeling really, really guilty. I mean, he's an old man, and I've helped put him into hospital. I wanted to make amends to him.
I feel sorry.
I mean, I felt like I owed him that for what I've done. But the thought of meeting him face to face, it would be difficult, scary, because I don't know how he's going to react, what he's going to think of me, what he's going to be like.
I don't even need to think about it. I'll do it. They'd been in juvenile detention. This event had had a huge impact on their lives, just as it had on mine. And if they were willing to face me, then I would happily do the same. And to be honest, well, I was curious. I wanted to know why they'd done it. Who were these boys? Who were they then? Who were they now? And most importantly, what were they going to become?
We'd been told we could have our parents there, but we said no, because this is something we've done, so we'll apologise for it ourselves.
The restorative justice workers went to great lengths to ensure I felt completely comfortable, completely supported, and that was excellent. I met with each young man in turn, and I found myself confronted with two very sincere, very mature people who were clearly very sorry indeed for the offence they'd committed and wanted me to know that.
I'm sorry for putting you in hospital with your... The RJ worker asked us questions. Stuff I'd gone through beforehand, so I knew what I wanted to say. I told Mr. Manners how I felt about what I'd done, and I apologised for the hurt I caused him. Michael here by the injuries I caused him. I'm really sorry to you and your family.
We were able to be quite open with each other. I told them how the incident had affected me, what the hardest things were that I'd had to cope with, and in the end, I was able to say that I did accept their apology. I accept the apology, and I think you're a good lad, and I don't think you'll do it again. I've got an instinct.
Well, the restorative justice worker asked Mr. Manners what he'd like to happen now. And Mr. Manners said that he'd like me and Harry to move forward in our lives, work hard in college, take the best opportunities given to us, and not let this part of our lives define us.
At the end, we asked what we'd do if we ran into each other in the street, and we agreed that if that happened, then we'd stop and have a catch-up. And I mean, why wouldn't you?
I know the idea was to make amends to Michael, and we did, but what I got from this was fantastic. It was a new start. It took a while to sink in that he'd forgiven us, and he'd meant it. It makes you see people differently, I guess. But most of all, it makes you see yourself differently.
I'm very happy with how it went. It was a brave thing to do, for all of us, and the right thing to do. And with any luck, we all walk away from this as wiser, better, and happier people.